Hey everybody, Joe Lowry, what a day, and my guest at this time is ready to tune up the world and maybe even what a day. She's no stranger to the ring, and you've probably seen her on NXT, Impact, and most recently AEW Dynamite as she took on the resident Galaxy's greatest alien, Chris Statlander. She's fought Red Velvet, Layla Hirsch, all have been on What a Day, by the way. And yes, she is the daughter of a mechanic, and she loves her 73 Chevy Nova. Let's give a warm What a Day welcome to the talented and beautiful Miss Amber Nova.
Thank you for that introduction. That was excellent. What a day, Joe. Thanks for having me.
There you go. There you go. Awesome. First off, I love the character. You don't see this type of character in the industry anymore. How did you come up with this? I mean, your father's a mechanic, so was this pretty easy to come up with?
Yes, it was just around growing up. I was always around classic cars growing up. Mom and dad, born and raised in New Jersey their whole life. They always restored classic cars, and they took it wherever we went, which ended up in South Carolina, where I grew up.
Wow.
And so, yeah, it was just an easy character trait that, you know, most characters themselves, but turned up to 10, they say. So That's me.
Right. So you've turned a wrench or two in your time.
Yes.
Awesome. So you really know how to do an oil change and all that stuff? Because I don't.
Yes, it's on my Instagram. I posted on Facebook if the video will upload. I'm not all that tech savvy, but I've thrown it on my YouTube channel. Yep. Check out my Instagram. I've thrown pieces of me changing my oil and showing people like, hey, this is quick. Look at, little video clips. So,
but that's the internet, until you see it in person, then you believe it. But no, I love it. I love the character. I love the fact that you have a background and all that stuff. Obviously women's wrestling, big time revolution going on here again. It's most definitely changed since I was growing up. I grew up in the 70s and 80s, and women's wrestling was not until the Rock and Wrestling Connection hit did I ever see really Fabulous Moolah and Wendy Richter and all those guys come into the fold. What do you think right now, the state of women's wrestling with, to me, it's like they come out of the woodwork now. Every card that comes on, there's at least 2 or 3 as opposed to just one women's match. How do you think the women's revolution right now is going?
I think it's incredible. The women's revolution, I mean, just everything, the evolution that's happened with, I mean, it's so positive. I mean, if it will, like Charlotte Flair, Sasha Banks, Becky Lynch, Bayley, all these women, Carmella, that started with NXT at the Performance Center, really changed the game for women, from main eventing with Ronda Rousey, really being able to showcase our talent and ability as athletes, as wrestlers, not just eye candy and pillow fights or very limited time. I mean, even though if you look back at these matches like Gail Kim was in, she kicked ass, man. Was she given like only a few minutes? Yes, but these women kicked ass. And Impact, TNA, even with the little time they had, they worked their ass off. So
I agree.
Time is different and it's evolved. I think it's incredible. I think it's incredible, and I think it's what the world needed: positive change for women in wrestling. And that's where I'm going with my character. I'm your American muscle mechanic. Pro wrestler.
I love it.
I really do drive a 73 Chevy Nova. I've had two 73 Chevy Novas.
Really?
The last 10 years, it's the only car I've ever drove. I do change my own oil. I do maintenance and fix it. And I want to break the stigma with women in American muscle cars, or just women in cars in general. You can look a certain way, but don't judge a book by its cover.
Right.
Same with wrestling. So I'm really proud to see. And I'm really proud that this is the time I'm coming up, and that this is my opportunity in life to be living in the wrestling.
I love it. I love the character. I'll say it a million times throughout this podcast. I love it. Do you feel there's a change as well? I know you mentioned Charlotte Flair, Bayley, Sasha, all them. That was like 6 years ago when Stephanie McMahon introduced them. Since then, to me, it's changed. It's changed in the physical sense where, you're not seeing the 20,000 bikini shots and the one suplex off the rope. Now it's more geared towards wrestling, athleticism. People like Thunder Rosa, yourself, Red Velvet, people that, have put the time and the energy to actually train for this and study the sport. Do you see that change happening now?
Absolutely. Still more and more, the opportunity, the respect level. Absolutely. It's on a whole different level than it used to be, and just taking on new heights as the years go by. And that's why I'm really proud to be, coming up in this time right now for myself and my career.
I mean, I think the biggest difference was obviously WrestleMania weekend, starting with NXT with Rachel Gonzalez. You know, that's not the poster child for anything. Don't get me wrong, superb athlete. They give her the title and run with it. I love it. I love it. Same thing with Universal Champion there. Oh my God, I'm drawing a blank right now. She's Rhea Ripley. Why do I forget her name? Rhea Ripley. Obviously, a phenomenal athlete.
Right.
I mean, she can probably take most guys on the roster. And then you have and then you have Bianca Belair, unbelievable athlete.
Current SmackDown Women's Champion.
Current SmackDown Women's Champion. And I saw that change. I'm like, you know what? It looks like they're heading. I say WWE, but a lot of other organizations as well. It's turning. It's going towards now. We're here to wrestle. We're here to provide storylines. We're not here to do the tongue in cheek and the baby cake photos and all that stuff. And I like that because I'm a wrestling fan. And I've always thought the women never really got the credit they deserve. Even when I watched it in the 80s and all that, going back to the Rock and Wrestling Connection. Yeah, Hulk Hogan was on the side, but everyone came to see Cyndi Lauper and Wendy Richter face the Fabulous Moolah. So, that to me was my first, wow, okay. A woman can do this in a predominantly male sport. So, and that's why I say I love your character. You're in a total male environment, so to speak, consumed by it. And even the background and the persona, and that's more men. That's why I asked you before we got on the air, are you into NASCAR at all? And you said no. I'm like, oh, that would have been a great crossover. No. A great crossover, How did you get on AEW's radar? I know I've heard tons of stories from other people that I've interviewed that they were here and they reached out. But how did you get on that radar?
I think they were looking at me for a little while, and I was taking my time till things were getting better due to this pandemic. Yep. I wanted to wait, not rush into anything, make sure I can be in a good timing. I knew they were still developing cameras and they were still always evolving there.
Right.
So I just know a few people that I reached out to that I've known through the years when I used to work at Impact Wrestling here in Orlando and other places that I've met throughout the years of my career. And then I finally reached out to them and was like, is this a good time for me to come in? I'd like to be a part and see how your operation is. And they gave me the platform, the opportunity a few times now that you've seen. I've had 3 matches, but they've all been very quick matches. And I really am looking forward to showing Tony Khan just what I can do as a real wrestler when I have that time limit in the ring, though. So
now I've seen you on AEW, Dark, all that stuff. You have the talent, you have it. The only thing missing to me is just more exposure. And I think once you do that, you'll grow like wildfire. That's my opinion. I don't say that to everybody because I know some people have spent 20 years in the industry and they finally make it, or you get people that are on the 5-year plan, the 10-year plan, and they're just now touching the surface they want to touch. Yeah. So, we talked about it. There's been a lot of talk with wrestling, the pandemic and so forth. And I had a guest on a couple of days ago, and they put up a good site. They said this pandemic's going to do one or two things to even male and female wrestlers. You're either going to take that time off from the pandemic to get yourself better, to get yourself in better shape and so forth, or you're just going to chug along. And when the pandemic overs, try to get in the ring, whether it's indies, what if it's anything. Do you think that the pandemic is going to weed out the people that, they say they were serious about it, but when the pandemic hit and they had nothing, do you think it's going to do that? Do you think they'll weed it out? They'll weed out the people that aren't really into this, or they're trying to use it as a catapult to something else?
I'll be honest. I'm a very positive person.
Yep.
At least I try to be. I'll also be honest that sometimes, I'm not. Everybody has their doubts. That's why you have to self-meditate. I want to say the pandemic, if that has anything, there's so much opportunity out there that I feel like people are giving these opportunities. But I know what you mean by the pandemic, as in, did they take the time to work on their bodies, or did they slack? Did they take the time to still train as much as they could?
Right.
I did. I was still killing myself, practice matches in the ring, in the gym, so that when it was over, I was ready in top tip shape still, like nothing ever happened. Because if you don't use it, like anything in life, you're going to lose it. And that's the name of the game. So I don't know, the pandemic, I guess, I feel like there's just, like I said, there's so much opportunity out there that and I see it often on the indies, that there's promoters or wrestling shows out there that just because they have money, they think they know how to run a show, and they throw people on these shows to save money that don't need to be on this event, that need to be back in training. because they're not ready to
Exactly.
be in a ring. And that's how you expose the business, and then the business doesn't get taken seriously. And then you meet these people, these fans, and go, oh, isn't wrestling fake? And then they look down on it because you're not giving them the best quality you can. You're trying to save a buck on talent by putting
Right.
in kids that are not trained well enough to know what
Exactly.
they're doing. Wrestling is a real thing. I mean, I have guillotine choked a guy out. I know how to do a triangle choke and arm bars, and wrestling is real technique. It really is.
You have to respect the industry for that too. Yes.
Exactly, but we transform it into wrestling. That's why, it's called entertainment. That's why it's entertainment. World Wrestling Entertainment, because that is what it is, but we are doing real technical holds.
Yep.
So I would like to say that maybe, it would weed out some of these kids that, this generation, they just get in, they think everything's handed to them. I've had to work for everything in my life. My dad's like, oh, you want to drive a cool, badass car? Hands me the wrench and goes, here you go. You're going to have to work on it yourself.
There you go.
Yeah, I was handed a wrench. I was not handed anything in life but a wrench and a tool. Wasn't handed a platform. Some of these kids, they just think it's so easy to get in the business.
Oh,
and it's not. And it's extremely painful, too, and it's extremely dangerous. So maybe this pandemic can start, just people realizing that you got to work a little harder before you just thrown on events.
I just thought it was a good example. To hear that from a wrestler, whether you're going to come out of this pandemic either better than you were before or you're just going to stall. So I thought it was a good question. I thought I'd share that with you as well.
I would say I kept hustling where I could, even if it was just photo shoots with my car, just staying relevant, just staying in the ring training. Yep. I want to say I hustled where I could, and I always
awesome. Now the pandemic, pre-pandemic, and so, but I didn't even know this, but forgive me, but you were in NXT for a little bit.
I was not signed or contracted. I was still paid per appearance. I'm still an independent contractor where I can go work for all different companies and they pay me per appearance, which is what I've been doing, which I'm happy with. I've gone to London, to South Africa, to Panama, to NXT, to Impact, now AEW. I'm hopping around and I'm just building my name and going everywhere I can. The matches have been short at times, so I wish I got a little more time to really show them what I could do wrestling. So that time will come. Yeah. Hopefully with AEW soon. Tony. Wink, wink. Hey.
No, I hear you.
Yeah. So I'm an independent contractor. I did work for NXT. I had 2 matches with them. My first match was with Nikki Cross.
I saw that. Yep.
And then my second match was a tag match with Rebel, Tanea Brooks in AEW now. And that was versus, 2 of the top women in Japan, Io Shirai and Kairi Sane.
Awesome.
Quick match as well. But I did learn. I'm always willing to learn, even if it's the smallest amount of time. I know that I'm learning something. So both incredible.
What part of the reason why my Whattaday started out doing pop culture, Hollywood, and all that stuff, and a lot of my friends and family were like, "Joe, you love wrestling. Why don't you do that?" So like 5 or 6 years ago, I transferred pretty much my Whattaday to this.
Yeah.
And what a lot of fans don't understand is, you don't just start wrestling and you make it big and so forth. You have to spend some time learning the ropes, like anything, like a job and training and so forth. But one thing that I've seen over the past 5 or 6 years is, like you in particular, you've had some outstanding matches with some unbelievable competitors, world-renowned competitors like Io Shirai and Kairi Sane and all that stuff. Mm-hmm. Not many people can say that. So the experience factor alone is unbelievable. Do you think the younger generation growing up should experience that? Or because I see a lot of people rushing right to the top. They want to get to the top, but they don't want to put that work in with that Hall of Famer or future Hall of Famer or that international superstar. Do you feel like that they're trying to rush it a little bit, or should they, pay a little more dues than they should be?
It's not really for me to say. I mean, obviously it's the company. If the company sees something in someone that goes, hey, your money, you're going to make this company money.
Yeah.
You've got it all. You've got the promos, the look, the character, everything. Then maybe we don't need you to go to Japan for a few years. We're just going to throw you on TV now. That's obviously the company's decision. As far as it goes for any new talent out there, my advice to them, be serious about your craft. Really do technical wrestling. Don't always worry about your high spots and running the ropes and flipping around. And you're not, if you want to do gymnastics, go do gymnastics. But wrestling is wrestling. And I'm sorry, but that's how I feel. I feel like given the opportunity, I'm going to wrestle. I'm going to try to tap you out. I'm going to throw you in submissions. I am a high flyer too. I do the lucha stuff. I do a flying head scissors, hurricanranas, top rope crossbody. I'll do all that stuff too when the time is right. But a lot of it can get too choreographed looking, where you guys are just flipping around, and who's really trying to take the other person down. I mean, I've been watching this for like, you know, the first 5-10 minutes, and who went for a pin? No one's gone for a pin yet. No one's gone for a submission yet.
I see it. Yeah,
you guys need to, you know, I see it.
I think one of the lost things, and I'm speaking for the male side as well, the storytelling in the ring is it's not there anymore. Some matches they have it, which is great, but like when I was growing up, you told a story in the ring. You had a little promo outside the ring. You got in the ring and you told that story up and down, all that stuff. You don't see that anymore. I think TV has a lot to do with it now because people are channel surfing all the time. They want to get those ratings. They want to do this, but that's why I like the indie shows. A lot of these shows tell the story in the ring. And, you know, you say your matches are quick on TV and so forth. That's probably why they're quick, because they got to get the sponsorship in and all that stuff. Yeah. But have you ever wrestled like that 20, 30-minute match? Or have you ever gone that long?
Yes.
In the ring? Yep.
In the heat, outside, at like a bacon beer fest.
Oh, God. Bacon beer fest.
Here in Orlando, we'd set up the wrestling ring at all these events, like Orlando's events. And in the blistering heat, we would just go to the ring and just wrestle 10, 20 minutes straight, just
flipping around. Yep.
Crazy in the heat. And honestly, I mean, I guess my cardio is up to par, so I survived.
I hope so.
Yeah.
Awesome. Real quickly, just one last wrestling related thing. You know, I talk to Medusa, London Blaze, a lot, and she tells me, she's pretty vocal. She's vocal on social media that, you know, like with AEW, they have Arn Anderson, Jake the Snake, and those people coming back to help the newcomers or even put them over, so to speak.
Yeah.
And on the women's side, it's really not a lot. It's not comparable. You have Vicky Guerrero, I get it, but you don't have any other true Hall of Famers, even with the other industries. I mean, with the other companies, and, you know, WWE, NXT, Raw, SmackDown, you don't see that, you know, like somebody coming along, like I'll just put out there like a Lita helping somebody go to the ring and helping out or being part of a storyline anymore. Do you think that's missing right now, that type of homage to the Hall of Famers or the people that set the trend and the pioneers for the women's wrestling?
Absolutely. I know that WWE's, they have that more with agents and the women there because they've agent in my matches, so I know.
Right.
But having a woman, like you said, Medusa or Lita or someone at AEW to really help the women agent their matches and be there for them and just be the person to step in when things get messy. You need a woman like that, a Hall of Famer, to go, what I say goes, and steps in between these women when these matches come time. And I definitely agree that AEW could use that. That would be awesome. I actually just was talking with Medusa at WrestleCon for WrestleMania out in Tampa, and she loves my car gimmick, and you know, with her with the monster trucks, we really felt like a bond, and that means so much to me. It means that I'm on the right track. You know, my dad raised me right, and it just meant a lot to me. So yeah, to have a woman like that in AEW to be that middle person to step in between the women when these matches come time.
Right. I think
that'd be essential.
I mean, that's the locker room aspect of it, but as a fan, I'd love to see it. I'd love to see Trish Stratus come back and say, hey, look, I'm going to take you into my wing, and this is what we're going to do. For storyline purposes, that'd be great. Plus, it gives them the respect that they rightfully deserve. So, awesome. So what I'd like to do is I'd like to ask a couple of questions to get to know my Whattaday guests. It's nothing too bad, you know, pretty easy stuff. But first question, what's your most embarrassing moment you've had in the ring, out of the ring, wherever?
You know, I had this question by a friend recently. A friend asked me, hey, so what was your most embarrassing moment in wrestling in the ring before? And I really couldn't think of one. I want to say, if I mess up, I want to say there was like a women's battle royal. And I jumped over the top rope to do my entrance like I normally do. But one of the girls rolled into my way, and instead of hopping and pouncing right on top of her, I was like, I don't want to stab you in the face with my boot right now. Like, and I fell in the ring.
Oh, wow.
I got up and was like, whatever.
That's it. That's all you can do. That's all you can do.
I want to say that might have been the most embarrassing moment.
All right, awesome. All right,
Yeah, I would
next
say
one.
that was it. Like I probably fell making my entrance into the ring.
You fell making your entrance. Why not? What better way to go down, right? How about this? Coke or Pepsi?
Neither.
Neither.
I'll be
Wow.
honest. I grew up. I did drink Coke.
Okay.
The last so many years of my life, 10 years, I choose ginger ale or Sprite, something a little healthier.
That's me. I go that way. Yeah, I go to the Sierra Mist or
Ginger
whatever.
ale.
Yeah. The twist of lime. Awesome. Okay, what's the one thing nobody knows about you, but you wish everybody did? That's a tough one. I know. Some people say, yeah, go ahead.
Let's see. Activities. I used to be really good at pool, and I will say that I think I still am. I can shark some people here and there. Not only did I change my own oil, I am a certified bartender. I'm a former EMT, which most people do already know these things.
Yeah, I've seen that.
I'm also a big gamer. In my downtime, I like to do anything activity water sports. I like paddleboarding, jet skis, kayaking. I absolutely love to play pool in my downtime. And I also love Nintendo 64 Mario Party. I'm a huge fan of Mario Party. I'm talking, bring the bottle of wine, the whiskey, the beer, whatever you drink. Bring your drink. Let's Mario Party all night long and just Nintendo 64 old school Mario Party. Like I'm a big gamer, so I love to do that with my sisters. Most people probably don't know that. Yeah.
Awesome. All right, so I got to talk about this. What is that pillow behind you?
That?
Yeah, I see it. I'm like, you have a twin sister sitting on the bed, but no, that's you in a pillow.
I'm going to show you. So this is from that pillow guy.
Yeah.
He sponsored me. I even have my own code. You guys can use Amber at That Pillow Guys for 10% off. You can get your mom, dad gifts, get their dogs. You can literally print like almost anything. You have the image, you just send it to them.
Really?
And it kind of looks like me, right?
Wow, that's awesome. It looks just like you. I thought somebody was sitting on the couch, and I kept looking. I'm like, all right, no, I got to look at the camera, but I got to look down here, and I'm like, oh my goodness, who is that?
I have to put these pillows over. I mean, I think I sent him the image over Instagram. I don't even think I emailed the quality, and the quality is incredible. It's so awesome. Soft.
Wow.
It's so soft, and it's legit like a size. It's almost the size of literally me.
Wow. That's amazing.
These pillows are excellent. Like I said, they'll make great gifts for your family or whatever.
That is really, really cool. I got to look into that because I'd love to have something like that in Whattaday back behind me. That'd be really cool.
I'm actually considering making these and autographing them for my fans. So
why not?
You guys, when this is posted to your YouTube?
Yep.
Yeah, I want the fans to comment in the links below. Let's get a vote going. Yes or no, I can make pillows of me and autograph and sign and ship these for you guys. That is interested. Awesome. So let's
That's really, really cool. And I see you. Is that Tony the Tiger? Who's that behind you? Winnie the Pooh, right?
That's Tiger, right?
I couldn't tell. His face is down a little bit.
That would be a good question to back up from before, like something that no one knows about me.
Sure.
Childhood favorite Disney character, Tigger. So
really? That's funny. Mine was Snoopy and Winnie the Pooh. I had both of them going at the same time.
Oh, I love Snoopy too.
Hence why I grew up with, I get beagles now. So awesome. Well, real quickly, let the fans know what's going on with Amber Nova next. Where's she heading? What's going on? I know the pandemic's turning the corner. My news feed's full of indie shows and all the other shows that are happening. AEW's hitting the road soon. Where's Amber Nova? What's on tap for Amber Nova?
Yes, so AEW is hitting the road soon. Big news. I've had a few matches with them. I am in talks with them as well. So keep staying tuned for AEW. I should be back.
Okay.
So we'll see.
As an independent contractor, or are you going to be all elite? Come on, give me the scoop, will you?
I don't know. Exclusive scoop. We'll see. You'll just have to wait and see. You'll have to stay tuned for a tune-up.
Oh, there you go. Oh, I love that. Where'd you get that? That is really nice.
This is actually from Garage Girls. They hooked me up on Instagram. It's orange rhinestones, my birthstone as well.
Wow.
French bracelet jewelry. I got the whole gimmicky stuff. I mean, it's awesome, right?
I know someone who would love that. I got to find out where you got that. That's really cool.
Garage Girls on Instagram.
Oh, boy. That looks really cool. I like that.
I love it. My birthstone, the orange, the color. It's pretty cool. Really awesome bracelet.
What's your birthstone? What month?
Topaz, November.
Okay. Nice. Very good. That's awesome. Well, I want to thank you so much for checking in with Whattaday. If nobody knows, let everybody know your social media. Where can they find you?
So follow me on my social media, Instagram, Twitter, AmberNova73, Facebook, AmberNova73. I have a YouTube channel with links, highlights of matches. Get to know me if you don't. YouTube Amber Nova. And yeah, just follow my journey. Stay tuned for a tune-up. Follow AEW.
Nice.
And hey, it's been what a day, Joe.
All right, awesome. Thank you so much, Amber Nova, for taking the time to come on. What a day. Everybody, that's going to do for me. You can see this interview and all my other interviews courtesy of Bill After's OneWrestling.com video YouTube channel. You can check that out. And that's going to do it for me here, folks. Everyone have a great day. I'm Joe Lowry. What a day.